One of the biggest problems agents face is, where do you give your attention, your focus? How do you know what to go all in on so that you can create long-term success? I'm Patrick Ferry, coach with Tom Ferry, and let's take a look at what are the main assets that an agent can build that long-term will create significant wealth and stability and financial security. Let's dig in on this topic. I had an epiphany about a year ago, and I was like, okay, what is an asset that a real estate agent can create? I'm, building a business here in San Diego, in Solana Beach, with my wife and father-in-law, and I wanted to know, where do I give all of my attention, my energy, and my focus, as well as I'm dealing with all of my coaching clients, and I'm just trying to sort through this whole topic of asset. Now, how do we define an asset? An asset is something that literally, if we built it over 5 years, it would have numbers, it would have P&L, it would have, GCI, it would have volume, okay? And then we could either sell it or we can rent it for a profit, meaning go on vacation for a year and still bring income in. Thank you to Robert Kiyosaki, cash flow quadrant, because that's where I picked up that concept. Now, well, what is that for a real estate agent? And the example was became present to me recently when I was working with a coaching client on how to adopt retiring agents. And as we've been discussing the retiring agent, what I started to realize was the asset was their database. And the value of the database was really a combination of, over a 5-year window, how many people are in the database, what's the marketing plan, consistency, what's the P&L, the cost of the marketing plan, and then each year how many opportunities, appointments, and sales is generated. So there is a cost, there are specific numbers, and there is an income generated. And over a 5-year window of time, that's a very clear asset. And so, wow, okay. So what are we doing to build the asset called your database and making sure that your marketing plan is constantly improving the number of opportunities and sales? Very important, one thing for us to work on. The second asset that, kind of hit me was a geographic farm. Working as a coach with Tom Ferry for so long, we work on geographic farms nonstop. And I found that some of my longtime agents who've been successful and have built brand recognition, have built relationship capital, and have a great marketing plan and have great connection with the community, that has become an asset, because there's a finite number of homes in the community. There's a certain number of sales every year. There's a certain sales volume every year. They have a marketing plan on top of that. And that marketing plan, year after year, gets a percent of the market share. And so year after year, it's very clear what the numbers are, the P&L of that asset. Now, that asset could be sold, or it could be rented out, meaning that if I went on vacation to Laguna Beach, which is back here, Laguna Beach for a year, and I was on vacation and I'd get a phone call from my farm, I could then set up another agent to go take the listing, and we can do a revenue share. And I could be hanging out on that beach while another agent is servicing my deals, giving me a percent profit. Asset. I like that. What about you? Great. The third asset that I started thinking about is really the real estate website. A real estate website that generates leads, and there's a certain number of those leads that convert every year into a sale. So it's not just lead generation, but there's also a marketing plan, okay? And so in the world of lead generation, there's two plays. There's the play of, hey, buy as many of these leads as humanly possible, the cheapest ones, Facebook, kind of pay-per-click, whatever, load it up with Realtor, Zillow leads. We put them all on listing alerts. We put them on email campaigns and marketing campaigns. And if we build it up big enough, at some point, those things just start spitting out a certain amount of sales. And kind of the industry standard right now is about 1% conversion. So if we built that up to 10,000 leads, 1% is pretty good annually. If we built that up to 40,000 leads, 1%, pretty good. Okay, so I realized that there's a second play here, because that's the kind of the early 2000s strategy that I saw. And then there's an outlier group of people who are doing SEO. And I got fascinated by this. It's like, what are you guys doing with this SEO? Because I love content marketing, and to build a brand, we need to do some content marketing. And that's where Tom's been talking a lot about video and video. That's really kind of putting yourself out there in this type of manner for people to experience who you are, your professionalism, your wisdom, your personality, kind of your perspective about real estate, the community, about how things work, right? That's just content marketing. So I realized if I'm going to do all this content marketing, I might as well put it into a website long-term and build up the SEO value of that website, so that I somewhere long-term down the road, that website is generating free leads. Free leads. I like that, free leads, increasing the value of my asset. And if you and I do a good job with creating video content, then that database is very much exposed to us as real estate professionals and our brand. And that will increase the number of results that the database will, number of appointments that we will extract out of the database, because of video is just a much more powerful way to establish a high authority and to demonstrate our experience and wisdom so that we can get more appointments. So the three main assets, right? Database, farm, real estate website, right? If we could build up those three assets over the long haul and in the course of the next 5 years, that is exciting. Now, there's another section that we will talk about later, which is really your skill assets, okay? Because if I have a skill asset, meaning I could call an expired, talk to 10 expired listings, book 1 listing appointment, and then for every 2 listing appointments that I go on with an expired, I have a skill called a presentation, a conversion skill, objection handling, rapport building, those skills, and I can convert those into a listing that will sell. That is a skill asset. The big difference between the 3 assets I'm talking about and skill asset is these ones over here could be sold and could be rented. This one always has to be performed. That's not bad. It's very valuable for us to build up our skill assets, but we need to keep our eye on building these bad boys over the long haul. I hope this was helpful for you to start to realize, what do we need to go all in on in the short term, and how do we start building up your asset and not get you distracted with any of this shiny penny object stuff. All right, I look forward to helping you. Make sure you take a look at the different playlists that I have on my channel, some for whatever expired cancels, other for building the database, others for online marketing, right? Take a look, explore the different playlists in my channel. Make sure you subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know which asset you want to build first in your business. Put that below in the comment so that I can see that and maybe share some additional ideas or strategies with you. Or leave a question and I'd be happy to respond. Thanks so much, and I look forward to talking to you out there in the field.